a considerable amount of progress since the previous video. So in part 2 of this little mini-series that I've started essentially, where I take a go-kart that is nothing but bare chassis straight from the factory and build it up into a track-worthy go-kart, this is going to be part 3 of that series. Last week, part 2, based on the thumbnail essentially, I'd taken it from a chassis with nothing on it, because that's how it starts, up to having all the bumpers mounted, but that was pretty much it. So I had enough to make it look like it was more of a go-kart, but it wasn't really. It was getting somewhere. It absolutely was. It was making very good progress, but it was more putting things in place that I just preemptively set up so I could just chuck it on quickly, so that it didn't end up taking too long. And in the end, although that was an enormous amount of progress, it didn't help that the most important thing to get across, all in all, was the engine. And so that's what this was about. So if you can tell from the thumbnail, essentially what I've done is the sticker pack, and that in itself is really hard. You remember the last part where I said the steering arm was the hardest part, and I said, yeah, the sticker packs will be annoying, but like they might be alright. Oh, I ate my own words there. Holy smokes. I really ate my own words with that. Oh my goodness. The sticker packs were insane. I would say they were on par with the steering arm. Like the steering arm / front axle. Both of them sort of together made the most difficult part. And honestly, the sticker packs were just as bad in some sections. So, like things like the NASU panel on the old sticker packs on Tony, they have like the NASU panel is just one piece that you just put on. On this car, it's split into 5 individual pieces, and 2 of them, you have to actually cut a hole into, otherwise you cover up what is essentially aerodynamics, pretty much. So the NASU panel has big holes in it, so that air can go through, so you're more aerodynamic. And if you don't cut the holes in the stickers where you're supposed to, then you're just covering up 2 of those aerodynamic, like 2 of those wind tunnels, basically. Well, so basically like a hood scoop, like a bonnet scoop, essentially. And the issue is that like they don't tell you about that whatsoever. I mean, obviously, I've told you before, like there's no instructions on the things, so it's not really very useful. But they don't tell you anything about the fact that this thing has essentially bonnet scoops on it for air, and it's not for cooling down the engine like on a car. It's just purely for aerodynamics. And so they don't tell you about that. So unless you like put it on, and the adhesive, like the glue, is really strong. It is so strong that if at any point a sticker folds in on itself and the glue hits the other side, that's a write-off, mate. You throw it away, get another one. And you can't buy an individual piece. You have to buy a whole ass sticker pack. You have to buy the whole entire thing, which means you're going to be spending a good chunk of money. It's not cheap, especially it's just stickers. It's really not cheap. So yeah, you have to buy the whole entire thing instead of just buying one piece. And yeah, the price really adds up if you make any sort of mistake, and then you have to rip the whole thing off and throw it away, or the glue goes off and now the whole thing just keeps flapping off. Like you're at the racetrack, you're doing 100 km an hour and all the stickers just come off. So you got to go and buy a whole new sticker pack. So essentially the stickers are just a massive hassle, and I absolutely ate my own words when I said that the steering arm and front axle would be harder. I absolutely ate my own words. The sticker packs were bare minimum a fraction easier. Bare minimum. The least worst of the stickers were fractionally easier. The worst ones were even harder, which was really annoying. But it's a different kind of tedious. So like I think I said this in the part 2 video where I was talking about it, where essentially it was really tedious, but it was like a difficult kind of tedious. Whereas the sticker packs were just tedious, like just being annoying. Like The hardest skill factor of sticker packs is when they don't design it to align as one piece. So like there's different pieces are different thickness for the colors. So you have to try and align the colors. But the pieces that are split into 5 different pieces for a single panel of the kart, like they didn't design it to end up in one piece or something. And so like they're different thickness. It's like someone just showed up on a Tuesday evening and was like, yeah, that's good enough. That's actually what it feels like, genuinely. Like it's just all over the shop half the time, and you almost can't get the colors to line up in some places. Like you have to really manipulate the sticker. If you didn't have any sort of heating device, if you didn't have a heat gun, oh mate, it'd be impossible. You wouldn't be able to do it. I'll just flat out. You wouldn't be able to do it. I was lucky even with the heat gun. I was lucky I was able to do it. And I still couldn't get them all to align. Like even with the heat gun, I still couldn't do it for some of them because they were so out of whack. So that was interesting, like at best, sarcastically interesting at best. But that was like, that's pretty much a secondary thing because I did the most important thing as well this week, which was that I put the engine on, which you probably did not see in the thumbnail because it wasn't on the right angle, but I did take a picture of it, and here it is. It's essentially just taking the engine off Tony and putting it on this kart. It's not difficult necessarily. I've done it, how many times? At least twice, maybe 3 times now. That's already enough for me to be acquainted with how to do it. It's really not too hard. You just got to take off the brackets at the bottom that mount the engine to the chassis, and then you have to unplug like I think 3 or 4 electrical connectors, and that's it. I mean, of course you got the exhaust pipe as well, but I mean that's sort of a given. You can't really take off the engine with the exhaust pipe because it would just be hanging off, and it'd be like, because it's big and it's somewhat heavy, it's really not, but when it's dangling and suspended in midair, it would seem heavy, and it's just gonna contort the whole thing. I don't even know if you would be able to take it off, to be honest. I don't think you would. Be able to take the engine off with the exhaust on it. I don't think you would, especially not by yourself. I don't think there's any chance of you being able to do that. So obviously, like you take the exhaust pipe off. Then after that, you literally just take off the 2 brackets at the bottom and you disable you have to disconnect the battery so you don't zap yourself. But then that's it. You just unplug like 3, 4 electrical connectors and the whole thing comes off. It's like an hour-long process. When I did it, it was like an hour and a half, and that was moving at a very comfortable pace. I wasn't rushing whatsoever, and I was methodical? Yeah, it was just like a methodical pace. And it took me an hour and a half. Like, it was... And I think methodical, like, I was going slowly because I didn't want to mess anything up. It's a brand new engine. It's got 2 hours runtime on it. It is brand new. So I really didn't want to mess anything up on it. But I was moving at a comfortable pace of going somewhat... I wasn't going slowly. I'll put it that way. I was not fast. No way was I fast. But I wasn't going slowly either. And I was just making sure that I was being careful with everything. And with my hands, I really struggle to take off electrical connectors. I don't know why. It's always been a weakness of mine. I cannot unplug you gotta like push it down, pinch it, and then you gotta wiggle it out. I just can't do that. Even when it's like right there in an open space, I still struggle. Let alone when it's in a confined space. And, I'm inheriting my dad's sausage fingers from just all the manual labor, and also going to the gym and stuff as well. My fingers are just getting bigger, so it's even harder to get into confined spaces, let alone doing something that I've always struggled with, which is unplugging connectors. So that's probably where most of the time came from. I wasn't keeping track of, I wasn't doing, stating, each section, how long did that take, as, it was, some sort of speed run or something. It was just from when I started to when I finished, how long was that? But the connectors took a long time. I would say, honestly, moving the engine across and mounting it so it was stable, without putting any of the electronics back in, just taking it off and putting it over to the engine and putting it back on, was probably half the time that it took for me to do the connectors, which is just, like I said, it's 3 or 4 things. at most 4 things. So really not that much, and it still took me that long. So it's difficult. It's just, again, it's just tedious. It's just tedious. You really got to like get your hands in, and it's just in a really confined space. It's just difficult, and yeah, tedious. That's really the best way to describe it. But yeah, that's what I've done so far. Essentially, is that I've done all the sticker packs. So everything except the exhaust, not the exhaust. You don't put stickers on the exhaust pipe; they just melt. So the rear crash bar has one yellow sticker, which is just so that you can put your racing number on it. So there's that. I've got, I think, 3 individual pieces of sticker left on the fuel tank, which is another massive pain because some genius decided it would be a really good idea for someone like poor people like us, our poor souls that have to build this thing, let alone putting all the stickers and stuff on it, like to literally hole punch at least one. I'm not joking. I am dead serious. At least 100 hole punches in a sticker that is maybe that big. Maybe. Probably even smaller than that. They somehow fit 100 hole punches in there. They even put it on the edges so that it actually like bends and you could literally tear it. Like, why would you do that? So it means that if you want to get the front laminate protection thing off that you do for all the other ones, you can't do it because it comes off in little, like, literally mil by mil pieces that you can't even see when you take them off because they're so small you can't even see them. Basically, you can feel you're holding something, you can hear it tearing off, you look at it and there's nothing there. That's how small it is. And the back, I'm honestly very lucky with the backing. The actual backing of it comes off in one piece. Thank goodness for that. If that didn't, I would be really annoyed because I just didn't bother with any of the protective laminate. Like I did with the rest of them. I didn't bother with that. Once I tried, I got like half of it off one of the stickers and then was like, nah, I'm not doing that. I don't have all day. I've got other things I need to do, you know? So essentially, like that's what I've got left in the fuel tank, which I'm not looking forward to whatsoever for reasons I've just stated. I don't understand. Why would you hole punch a sticker? What's the point of that? I don't understand hole punching. Why would you hole punch 100 times in a sticker? Why would you do that? I don't get it. So I've got the rear crash bar. I've got the fuel tank. Don't even get me started. I'm gonna stop myself. Don't even get me started on the fuel tank. My goodness. Then I still have, I think there's one more sticker pack. Yes, I remember. The chain guard. It's essentially a piece of plastic that goes over the cross of the sprocket, the gearbox, and the chain. That's the main point of it. The reason it's a chain guard is for the chain. Technically the sprocket as well, but the sprocket's probably not going to go anywhere. It's mainly the chain. Because, you know, if the chain comes loose for some reason and it slips off, you know, you don't want it scooting across because, you know, the kart's got, say you're going on a straight, you're towards the end of a straight, you're probably doing 14,000 RPM. What happens if that chain, which is a literal chain, it's a metal chain, going at 14,000 revolutions a minute, flying off and striking someone in the helmet? That's not going to be a fun day. Like, it's really not going to be a good day for you. It's not going to have a fun ending. You're not going to be, you'll probably be fine, maybe, but you're not going to be in good shape for a little bit. It's not nice. Don't do that. Don't recommend being struck in the face by a chain going at 14,000 RPM. I don't recommend that. It's not a good idea. So that's what the chain guard's for, is to stop that very thing from happening because it is a legitimate risk. It's a legitimate danger. And it could really mess you up, even though you've got a race helmet on, you've got a crash helmet. It could still it can mess you up genuinely. It's a genuine problem, and so that's why they've got the chain guard there to stop that very thing from happening. So it just hits the chain guard and then falls on the floor, and at that point, it's no risk to anyone. The most dangerous thing is running over it and maybe scraping on it or, you know, ruining the rubber on your tires by having chain lube on it. That's the biggest danger. Then not really about it flying around everywhere because it's just sitting there on the floor. But regardless, that's essentially what I've got left. Is I've got the sticker packs. I've got to put the exhaust pipe on. The kart's ready to start at that point. Then all I got to do is go and get the seat fitted, which is a thing that I can't do. I have to get the kart shop to do it. So that's literally, that is one of, if not, no, that's one of the only things that I cannot do because I do not have the tools and the capability to do it. One of like 3 things. I'm literally going to be doing genuinely about 98% of the work on this go-kart, all me. And the kart shop that sold me the kart, they like literally, I'm just getting them to cover for the last bit because I've actually surprised myself every now and then with like how I'm able to actually do some of the stuff with the tools that I have. The tools I have are very simple stuff. It's just a box of Sid Chrome stuff, a couple Allen keys. It's really simple stuff. Genuinely, it's very simple stuff. Like very low budget, very simple tools, and yet I've been able to build an entire go-kart by myself. So, and really, it's just things that other people won't be able to do. Like even if you have more advanced tools, things like the seat fitting, you probably just even still won't be able to do that because there's nuances and there's all sorts of things to it. Things like the wheel alignment, for example, which is something that happens to every new kart. I don't have the tools to do a wheel alignment. I don't even know how you do that. Like I don't know how you would adjust the toe and camber of the wheels on a go-kart. I don't even know how you do that. So, and I don't even have the tools for it. So even if I did know, I couldn't do it. So pretty much I'm nearing the point where I'm pretty much done everything that within my own capability and with the things that I have at my disposal, what I'm capable of doing, which again is about 98% of the kart. So at this point, I would say I'm probably about 90% done. Like literally, all I got to do is just the sticker packs and the exhaust pipe. Then at that point, I would say that at that point I've solidly hit I got to get the tires on, which I'm already paid for. I'm just waiting for them because the tires are out of stock because there was a race on the weekend and so their tires sold out. So I'm just waiting for the new stock to come in and then I chuck the tires on. At that point, that's 98%. Like that's everything I can do. So then I can bring it in, get the seat fitted, get the camber adjusted. That's it. Out to the track. So I'm getting really, really close now. So yeah. The other thing that does cross my mind as well is the fact that like I've just moved the engine across from Tony, which is sort of committing to the fact that like Tony's gonna be retired now, which is kind of it's kind of sad, you know, because my entire karting journey started with taking this old go-kart that was a complete write-off. Like even the guy who we bought it from didn't care for it at all. It was a spare dirt kart. Like it was a kart raced on the dirt, and it was a spare that he didn't really maintain or take care of whatsoever, which is probably why he was selling it so cheaply because it was not maintained very well. But yeah, like I just bought that car and then built it up into being track worthy and it was ready to go. And you know, I've built the foundation of me being able to start, even though it's still like casual racing. Yeah, club racing is a mix of people who are trying to take it seriously and are going to move up, and people who are just there completely for fun. So it's sort of a mix and match between serious people and just casual people who are just there to have some more serious fun than going out and just going on the track by themselves. You know, they want to go out with other people, so they join a club race. So although I'm still at that sort of like semi-casual category of racing, like that's where everyone starts, you know, and Tony was the one who essentially like started the building blocks of allowing me to get there. You know, it was because of me restoring Tony and everything that I got the invitation to join the club team in the first place. So like being able to show my potential, which then allowed me to join a club team, like it was all because of my work and Tony's like capability still being an old kart, that I was able to do that. So it's giving me like a Doc Hudson sort of moment. You know, I'm a 2000s kid. I grew up watching cars, yeah, it really does give me sort of like a Doc Hudson moment. Yeah, I don't want to see Tony retired, but at the same time, like, what choice do I have? I can't race him, so that's that. I just sort of just I'm not saying that I'm not ready to commit to the other car. I'm not saying that. I've just moved the engine across. Pretty much everything's ready to go. Like, as soon as I put the exhaust pipe on, the thing's ready to start for the first time. So, like, I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to get it out on track as soon as I can, which is probably going to be within at least a week. Like, probably, because I got to wait for Kart Shop's availability to fit things like the seat. So if I get lucky with availability, I could be out on track within a week, or if I mistime it or I'm not lucky, it could be more than a week. It's really out of my control, which is why I'm not really having a fuss about it, because I don't care. It's not in my control. So yeah, I'm just waiting, and I'll see what the availability is, and see if I get lucky or if I've got to wait. Whatever happens is what happens. But yeah, it's like I'm excited to test the new car, but I don't want to say goodbye to Tony yet. I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know. My thoughts is maybe that I'll like try and, honestly, I got no idea. I don't know what I'm gonna do. The only thing that I'm like practically certain is that I want to, at some point, like, I don't have room long term to hold two karts in the garage. I don't have room for it whatsoever. So, like, Tony's got to go at some point. Like, there's no choice behind that. Like, the way I've set it up in the garage is not to be sustained long term. It's a short term thing while I get the cart ready, and then something's going to have to happen to him. What I would want, my will for Tony would be to, like, someone like me, basically. Someone like the person I was in 2024. I didn't know anything about karts. I had no idea what I was getting into, but I just wanted to buy something, have it ready so that I could race. It needed some work, yes, but it was essentially good to race. And it was compatible with the regulations, for example, and it's all basically just get a bit of work and get it to track worthy, and then off you go. It's all good. My will would be to sell Tony to essentially someone who was like me back in 2024. Someone who just wants to race but has no idea, sort of, like, they want to learn how a kart works by taking it apart and figuring it out. So I'm thinking about putting the old engine back on the kart. So the old engine that is almost dead because it's older than me, and it's been raced on the dirt for years, even though it's been restored. I didn't replace too many parts, so there's still a lot of original parts that have just been cleaned out. So the engine's not running fabulously, and the power valve's dying. The turbo, the power valve barely works, and so that would be a really good thing for someone to learn on, someone to work on that kart and learn how karts work, so that inevitably when it's like, yep, I can't race this kart and I'm ready to race and I can't race the kart, then they can do exactly what I did, go buy a new chassis, build it up, and they know what they're doing, and so they'll be ready to go before the race starts. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to put the old engine on, and I'm going to sell Tony to someone who is really passionate about wanting to start, and they don't mind getting their hands dirty because it's cheaper than just buying a new kart. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I really don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, that's something for future me to decide, because I've got more pressing concerns at the moment, which is the sticker packs on especially the fuel tank. Don't get me started on that. And also simpler things like the exhaust pipe. So yeah, that's really about it. I noticed that I've been yapping on a little bit. I've been going on a bit of a passion rant once again. I'm very good at that. I get that from my dad. I'm very, very good at going on passion rants. I get it from my dad. So you can thank him for that. But yeah, I'll stop this now. I'll close the video out now. So essentially, just a very quick summary is that from part 2 to part 3, what I've done is I've put the sticker packs on, I've put the engine on, the battery's all good to go. So all I got to do now is I just have to put the exhaust pipe on, I've got to finish the last couple sticker parts of the sticker pack that are left, and then I just need to put the tires on as well. And then after that, it's all off to the kart shop to get the seat fitted, to get the wheel alignment adjusted, and to have a scrutineering check to make sure that it's worthy for the race, because I can't scrutiny check that myself. Yes, technically I can, but it doesn't mean anything. So I need to get it cleared, so that way I know that I can enter it into the race. So then when they scrutineer it again for race day, I know that it's going to pass 100%. So yeah, that's really about it. The kart's almost ready to go. And yeah, I'm really excited to get it out on track for the first time. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye, everybody.